What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Thursday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Over the course of this video, I'm going to give you the very latest around the developing story that Liverpool players are growing frustrated at the lack of a contract extension agreement for their captain Virgil van Dijk. We're also going to be taking you through some of the fallout from Darwin Nunez' performance last night, including some words from the manager, a deleted tweet, and a few other bits and pieces. As always, we do want to know your thoughts, my friends, so let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. I'm delighted to say that last night we did just pass 300,000 subscribers. From all of us here at Anfield Agenda, thank you so much for your continued support, and we hope to continue to repay that trust you've shown in us over the coming weeks, months, and hopefully years. Right, loads to get through here, folks. I'm going to get straight into it. This from James Pearce of The Athletic. James wrote that Darwin has regressed rather than kicked on in his third season at Anfield, and a parting of the ways looks increasingly likely come the summer. Now, I reported on this at least 2 months ago to tell you that I knew that Darwin Nunez was going to be sold in the summer, and it is good now that journalists are starting to, well, put forward the obvious, to be honest with you. A little bit more though from James Pearce. He said Salah has improved so many of the players he inherited from Jurgen Klopp last summer, but sanding off Nunez' rough edges has so far proved beyond him. And again, I think that's a fair take from James Pearce. You know, Arne has certainly improved or carried on the great work that Jurgen Klopp has done. You've seen the benefits the likes of Ryan Gravenberch has had, Alexis McAllister. So yeah, this one has just seemed, well, a little bit too much for him to be able to resolve. Speaking about Manchester City, this is what Arne Slot had to say today. I can see them coming back. You have to suffer as well and work really hard to keep them away from your goal. They face a good team as well, unbeaten in 22 league games. Of course, he's alluding to the massive game coming up this weekend at the Etihad. 4:30 kickoff on Sunday. And you know that we'll be here from an hour and 15 minutes beforehand to take you through the game. Now, Arne Slot speaking last night, and you can find this on the Anfield Agenda X account, by the way. Just search at Anfield Agenda. Arne Slot on the Darwin Nunez miss last night. This is what our manager had to say. A miss that I can accept. What is harder to accept, his behaviour after the chance. It has got too much in his head, where he's the usual Darwin that works his ass off. I think he was too disappointed after missing that chance. You can miss a chance, but you cannot miss out on work rate. It's not part of the job of a number 9 to slow down in work rate. It's something we will talk about. And I don't blame the manager. Last night, it clearly got into his head, that miss. But it's the behaviour at the end of the game, for me as a fan, that personally left a sour taste. You know, laughing with Emi Martinez and then not gone over and applauding the travelling cop, who I'm sure you heard consistently sang his name throughout. LFC Transfer Room have posted something here saying a now deleted tweet by Darwin Nunez. So he posted a couple of attempts at this today, a bit more angry to begin with, and eventually came up with a tweet that was, well, what he deemed acceptable. This is one of those deleted tweets. 2 or 3 weeks ago, Darwin was the best. Darwin gave us 3 points. But yesterday, I was unlucky enough to miss a goal, and I'm once again the worst and the failure. I don't fail. I get up, and I never give up. I'm going to give my all until the last day to be in Liverpool. Resilience. Here's the thing, though, Darwin. It's gone too far. And the scapegoating of fans, the running off of social media, and everything else that you just won't accept is down to your poor performances. You came in for a big price tag. You came in for a rather hefty wage, and fans, to their credit, have absolutely wanted any reason to get behind, back and support Darwin Nunez, but he isn't making it easy for himself or anybody else, and his behaviour last night and his snotty tweets are just not acceptable. So we all just have to accept that Darwin's career at Liverpool has come to an end. Personally, for me, I hope we see him used very sparingly between now and the end of the season, because I just don't trust that he's going to go out there and give it all. I mentioned in my stream last night that John Aldridge was unhappy with the attitude from him in the Wolves game when he came on. I can only imagine what Aldo has to say about last night's performance and antics from Darwin. Didi Hamann has been speaking a little bit about him, and he said, I think Nunez would be gold for Arsenal, because I think if you've got somebody up top who bullies defenders, who draws defenders in, he always gets the attention of 2 or 3 defenders. Obviously, he's a big unit, he's quick, the game changes. I don't think he's going to be moving to Arsenal, to be fair, but a move to Saudi in the summer, maybe, I'm not sure. but as James Pearce alluded to at the start, we will see a parting of ways from Darwin and Liverpool. So a little bit of an update here from Arna around Conor Bradley and Joe Gomez. We know one of them will be a long-term absentee. We're not really sure yet about Conor. This is what the manager had to say. I'd be surprised if Bradley was involved on Sunday against Man City or on Wednesday against Newcastle. Joe Gomez had surgery for his hamstring and is out for a long time. So probably the end of the season for Joe. Unfortunately, he's been really unlucky this season with those injuries. We all know how important Joe is and the versatility he brings to the squad. So it's unfortunate that his season has ended. Mohamed Salah, let's talk about the great man for a minute. This post that went up kind of shows Lionel Messi after 26 games and some of the great goals and assist numbers that he had. 36, 49 in 12, 13, 23, 41, 24. Well, Mohamed Salah has 39 goals and assists in 26 Premier League games for Liverpool Football Club. And I'm about to move on to speak about the frustration in the dressing room around Virgil van Dijk and his lack of a contract extension from the club. Can you imagine how Mohamed Salah, his representative, his fans, and of course the rest of us Liverpool supporters as well, are feeling about Mo's situation? The man is putting in another incredible season, and yet again we're being laughed at practically by these owners who are penny pinching so much that they still can't give two of the best players in the world contract extensions, and it's dragged on for far too long. So that's my take on the Salah part. But this part from Graham Bailey here, posted by Anfield Buzz, I'm going to give you a little insight into the dressing room feeling. So this story said, breaking: Liverpool players are starting to get frustrated by the way Virgil van Dijk's contract is being handled. Murmurings and disquiet is the feeling amongst the Liverpool dressing room due to the prospect of Virgil potentially leaving in the summer. So remember when all the journalists wrote and told us that everything was great? Remember when I told you these are human beings, that they're of course going to feel worried, frustrated with the uncertainty? Well, now the chickens are coming home to roost. So again, I'm going to say, despite all the nonsense that the journalists write around everything being perfectly happy and great in the dressing room, it isn't. And of course the players are going to be concerned about Virgil van Dijk, the captain, their leader, not getting a contract extension. It makes no sense. And I'm sure to those players who are seeing him perform week in and week out at a top level, one of the best in Europe, I'm sure they're concerned as to why he's not getting a contract extension, because he's the club captain. He should be priority number one. So let me know your thoughts on this one. The players are starting to get a little bit uneasy with the situation. Mohamed Salah continues to score and we don't know what's going on with Trent. But once again, those that cover the Liverpool patch want to pretend that everything's great and that there's no reason to call out the club or the owners for an absolute joke of a situation. Well, I'm going to be here to call that out. I'm going to continue to call that out, and I hope eventually that these guys that get paid to cover the club do their job and call what is unacceptable unacceptable. Now it's over to you guys. I'll see you tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda, where of course we'll go through all of this and more in great detail. Looking forward to catching up with you guys then. Again, thank you to those who've sent us messages congratulating us hitting 300k. It is a group team effort. We wouldn't have done it without your support, so thank you so much. And I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.